What is going on? Daniel here. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while. I've been traveling so much in the last couple of weeks, but I cannot wait to tell you what I've been up to. It's been so much fun. But in this video, I just want to share with you some of the tricks, strategies, and hacks that I use in order to travel cheaply and stay on the road longer. And if that's something you're interested in, make sure you watch this video till the very end. And before I dive into them, I just want to say a very big thank you to SafetyWing for being a partner of this channel. They're allowing me to bring this video to you today. And you might be wondering, what exactly is SafetyWing? Maybe you've heard about them before, maybe you've not, but if you have not, I want to tell you about SafetyWing. They are the travel insurance program that allows you to travel with absolute peace of mind through their nomad insurance program. Think about this as any subscription-based program or tool that you use. Think about Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. It's just the same way. You go on the website, you sign up for the nomad insurance program, and if you travel anywhere from your home country, they keep you insured in the case of an unforeseen circumstance. And speaking of the benefits of SafetyWing, the biggest one for me is being able to enroll on a month-to-month basis, meaning I don't have to get locked into a contract. If you have a trip coming up, you can get your travel insurance through SafetyWing for the duration of your trip and no more. After that trip, you can cancel and live your life as normal. And they cover you in the case of medical and travel emergencies. Think about flight delays and things of that nature. You don't have to worry about it with SafetyWing as your insurance partner. And also medical insurance in case of an accident or you fall sick while abroad, God forbid, they cover you as well, so you don't have to worry about the cost for that while you're abroad. If you go on the website, you'll be able to read about all the details and how to enroll for the nomad insurance through SafetyWing. Once again, I want to say a big thank you to SafetyWing for being a partner and for allowing me to bring you videos like this. Now let's dive right in the subject of video, which is how to travel for cheap and on a budget. The first thing you need to keep in mind is to know exactly what your income sources are. You need to know where your money is coming from. If you can measure it, then you can control it, right? You need to know how much you make in a month, where those money is coming from, and you need to be able to account for every single dollar that comes into your bank account and that goes out of it. That is the very first step, and that allows you to be able to budget for your travels. Say for example, you want to take a trip in the next couple of months. You know exactly, okay, how much am I making in a month, and how many months do I need to save up for in order to be able to afford this trip, right? And that is not taking into consideration that you might want to stay for longer. If that is the case, then you will need what I call, or what everybody calls, a remote job. You need to be able to bring your work with you while you travel. You need to be able to make money regardless of where you are, because that is the only way to make travel sustainable and to be able to keep you on the road for much longer. That's something I've been doing for the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years at this point, and I couldn't be more grateful that I'm able to do that. And I know that if I can, so can you. I made a video recently about how to find some remote jobs and how to get jobs that allows you to travel. I'll leave a link here down the cards. You can go check that video out on how to get remote jobs so you can keep traveling for much longer. Now, the next tip I want to share with you is to pick the right destinations. Now, this is the most important. If you want to just take off now and live and stop watching the video, you can do that after listening to this. The right destination is going to be the make or break factor in whether or not you're going to be able to travel for longer. I'm a very big fan of traveling to South America. If you're just getting started in this digital nomad lifestyle, South America allows you to be able to extend your dollar far beyond what you would back home. Say for example, you're making money in US dollars and you're spending in pesos. That is a big advantage for you, because now your dollar is going to go much further than it would back home. And not only South America, because in fact some of the countries in South America are now getting more expensive, like Mexico for example. It's got more expensive in the last 2 years as the digital nomad movement has become more widely accepted. So you want to look at these places and do your research. I recommend using a tool like Nomad List to do your research on where to go and what the current cost of living is in every one of these countries. Another place you can consider to go is Southeast Asia. I know a country like Thailand is still hot on some people's list right now. It's still one of the cheapest places that you can travel to as a Westerner if you make money in a stronger currency. currency like the US dollar, Canadian dollar, British pounds, euro, whatever, you can go to Thailand, still get cheap apartments for under $1,000, even sometimes around $300 to $500, and still be able to live your life and still be able to enjoy this lifestyle that, you know, a lot of people enjoy every single day. So make sure you're picking the right destination, because this is going to be the biggest factor in whether or not you're going to be staying on the road for long. Now let's talk about something more granular, which is getting your flight ticket. Now, flight tickets is probably the biggest expense after your accommodation, or maybe even bigger than accommodation sometimes. So what I tell people is this: if you are flying somewhere, the most widely accepted trick in the book is to book your flight many months in advance or weeks in advance. But for someone like me, I just find that to be a little bit uncomfortable. I don't want to spend money on a flight ticket, especially the ones that you cannot cancel. That's kind of locking you into something that you may not necessarily want. So here's what I do. I try to find the best tickets by scanning multiple websites, right? A lot of people go on Google Flights, and whatever they find on Google Flight is what they go with. That's not the way you should do it. You should compare multiple websites: Google Flights, Cheapo Here, Skyscanner, Student Universe. Go on all of these websites and make sure you're comparing tickets, because at the end of the day, you might be saving anywhere from $50 to $100, or even more. In some cases, I've saved as much as $150 by just comparing flight on multiple websites. And one thing I do is to use the track flight feature on Google Flights, so that way you will be emailed if that flight goes down. And some websites even provide you with a refund of the difference if a flight goes down from the original price that you bought it for. So that is what made the difference between the last flight that I booked from Toronto to the United States. I looked at it one day, it was around $1,200. So this is my flight back to the US. As you can see, I booked it for $569. And if I had booked the same flight just yesterday, it would have cost me at least $1,100. So sometimes just waiting a few days is the difference between paying too much and paying just the right amount for flights like this. So you want to make sure that you are checking in and you are monitoring flights. You just don't want to buy the first one that you see. And the next day, about 2 days after, the flight had gone down from $1,200 to $650. That is a price difference of about $600 by just waiting a few days. And of course, if you wait a few days, some other flight routes might open up that may not be open, a few days prior. So these are some of the things that I do in order to find, very good flight tickets when I travel. And since this is going to be the biggest expense you're going to incur, I would say that you need to pay more attention to that aspect of your travel. Now let's talk about accommodation, Airbnb versus local listing. If you're just getting started on this, digital nomad journey, I would most likely recommend to you that you go on Airbnb and find your accommodation, because not only is it efficient, it is just convenient for you that way. You don't have to deal with locals. Sometimes you may not even speak the language, so you don't want to go through all of that. So before you go book an accommodation locally, you want to go on Airbnb, find the best accommodations in the locations that you go to. I made a video that I'll link right here talking about how I found the best deals on Airbnb. You can either do that or rent the Airbnb for a few days and just negotiate with the listing owner and just negotiate some local prices. And that allows you to get a feel for the environment, get a scope of it. And if you like it or not, then you can decide to invest in a longer term listing. And investing in a longer term listing allows you to save money that you would otherwise be spending on short term rentals. And speaking of spending a longer term, but here's another hack for you if you're trying to stay on the road longer and reduce on what amount you're spending. And that hack is to spend a longer time in a particular destination. I cannot stress this enough. Of course, there's a lot of people who enjoy being able to go from one place to another, probably in every few days or every 2 weeks, but traveling, doing that will burn you out. I've seen this happen so many times, and a lot of travelers I speak to share the same sentiment, that traveling or jumping countries every few weeks just burn you out inevitably. But the fact that you're able to stay in one place, be able to immerse yourself in the culture, understand the people more, and just get yourself in your routine by traveling slowly allows you to enjoy travel more. It feels less like a chore and more like something you can do and enjoy at the same time. And that allows you to focus on work and be able to get stuff done. I remember when I first started traveling, it was really hard because I even lost a lot of clients because I was changing time zones so often that I wasn't paying attention to my work, and I was losing clients left and right. That was when I realized, what, I need to do something about this, and that's exactly what I did. So stay in one place longer. And finally, just like I've said earlier in this video, get insured. You never plan for bad things to happen, but they do happen. If you're traveling, you want to get insured, and use the first link in the description to SafetyWing. That is my affiliate link. You'll be able to sign up for the travel nomad health insurance, and of course I get a slight commission when you do that, and it helps this channel out as well. So this is how I travel cheaply on a budget and allows me to stay on the road longer. If you find this video helpful, consider subscribing, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment down below. And also check out my podcast, Nomad Insurance, where I talk to digital nomads and remote working entrepreneurs and how they've been able to build businesses while on the road. This podcast is on fire right now, and I would love for you to check it out. Again, my name is Daniel, and I will see you in the next video. So take care now.